to the cloud. FYI, in the Philippines, if we have any issues, like usually we come back, just use the same Zoom link and we'll be right back on. Today's going to be kind of an AMA, Ask Me Anything. Holly and Chris Palmer are both in Vegas, along with a lot of other people for SEO rock stars. Astra Pro is paid. He's not asking about that. He's asking about Gutenberg, Patrick. Gutenberg is not Astra Pro. Let's see. Okay, Twitter and Reddit. Want me to talk about that? So Twitter, what I could do is I could bring Jesper in. He's an expert when it comes to it. I'm not an expert with Twitter moments. I will use them. I use them for backlinks because it's a high authoritative backlink, but it's, I mean, that's the only real thing special about it. But Tumblr, same way. Reddit, actually, Holly's developing an embed network for Reddit. And once that's done, then I'm going to be releasing that as well to the, everybody, let them know, hey, it's available. Because I requested for her to build that out because I want it for one, for social means and social backlinks. How much do I use Elementor versus Gutenberg? I used to be Elementor only, WordPress only, Elementor, all builders. Then I went over to Elementor. Then we started using mainly Gutenberg. Now we probably use half and half. We've gotten it to the point where Elementor, I can get it to pass Core Vitals every time. So it's not a Core Vitals issue, but the average Joe is not going to be able to do it. Let's see. And Graham's the one that got me on Gutenberg train, if you will. I like Gutenberg, but it tends to be, you just got to get used to using it. It's not harder, it's just you got to get used to using it. Yeah, if you can make a list of that, Graham, that'd be great. Hi, Patrick. Hi, everybody. Okay. Okay, I'm looking at Bug Off or Carl. If you bought those from Tony, I would ask you to tell Tony, ask Tony, because I have nothing to do with what Tony does. But indexing results, I think he indexes his backlinks, but I don't know. With me, if it's backlinks I'm making, I index them with a mega indexer. Okay. Patrick, William, I thought you used that. Yep, I already answered that one. Pinsin Master, along with Twitter and Reddit, any Pinterest action going on? Not yet, but I am working on getting a network. I have to look at things that doing them in mass scale. So for instance, when I go to Holly about Reddit, I need an unlimited version where I can basically do things in mass and not have to manually do everything. Twitter moments are cool. What I'm going to do, I'm going to have Jesper come in and talk about it. Graham, yeah, Astra Pro is for pro versions of Elementor themes, correct. Robert Moss, could you show the keyword poking process for the news sites, please? So for example, I probably should just make a video of that and put it on out there, but the keyword poking process, basically keyword poking essentially means finding keywords that are going to be easy to get to rank on page 1 in 5 minutes or less. So there is and this is where we'll do, 2 or 3 of them and try to find a keyword. But give me 1 second here. So for instance, let's say it was roof repair from storm damage or something like that. Keyword poking, essentially, one of the ways I do it, I'll go all in title, semicolon, or quote, quote. And then I try to figure out, okay, how many competitors we have. So all in title means all in title right here. This is your title. So how many people are actually using that all in title generally tells you about how many people are competing for that term. So since I know it's low, I know generally speaking, same thing I've said before, when someone can get a video on page 1 rather easily and they brag about it or anything, it's because there's no competition, right? There's no competition, but just because there's no competition doesn't mean there's no search volume, right? You can have search volume and not have competition. Another thing that most people understand, let's say, for example, I took keywords. You have your main keyword, let's say plumber, Baltimore, right? Or plumber, Orlando, and it's got like 4,000 or whatever searches a month. But I have, let's say, 2,000 different keywords that may only get, let's just say 10 searches a month, and most people will stay away from those. But if I was to rank for those, I just got 20,000 searches a month versus your little 4,000 a month. Which one's better? Long tail keywords such as, let's say, roof repair from storm damage, and I'm in Orlando, is much better than just roof repair or roofer Orlando, because generally speaking, when someone's looking for an exact or long term like that, they're in the buying stage or research stage, not just in a general, hey, I'm looking for a roofer. They know exactly what they want. Another thing we'll do when it comes to quote unquote, if you will, keyword poking, what I'll generally do, I use a stopwatch. And what I'll do is I'll take the article, take the all in title, like roof repair from storm damage, write the article, post it inside of Holly's News Network. The moment I choose, let's say, one of the news network sites to post it on, I hit start. And I'll let this go for anywhere from a minute to 5 minutes, but no longer than 5 minutes. And generally speaking, it will already be on page 1. Okay. That is what I'm referring to when I say keyword poking. Generally speaking, that is what Holly's referring to when she talks about keyword poking as well. All Astrid Gutenberg themes are free, correct? Greetings from Cozumel. I don't know where Cozumel is, but greetings from Cozumel too. Patrick, William, in your Gutenberg class, you show using Astrid Pro. We've already answered that 20 times, brother. I'm not going to answer it again. Bambi, you have a client who is great at getting testimonials on your GMB, which you better off getting questions to answer. So if I'm doing things, I actually would want questions. I want questions, but I also want reviews. But don't just focus, which I did a YouTube video in which I went over this, is don't just focus on Google reviews. I have a list. If you go on my YouTube channel, there is one of my videos where I talk about it. And if you comment on it, I give you the SOP. But what happens is, if you've ever looked at a GMB or Google profile knowledge panel, you'll see where it says other reviews from Facebook, other reviews from, other places like Angie's List popping up in your GMB knowledge panel. So you want to get niche relevant reviews from other places, not just Google. Okay. That's going to be the first thing I'm going to tell you. So Pins and Master Tony Peacock does indexes backlinks. Yes. I just don't know his method is all. Is he using Omega Indexer or not? Pins and Master, do you do social media management? No, zero. I do zero social media management. I focus on SEO and building websites. Let's see, Patrick. All right, keep the questions coming in here. Now the new RSS, I was going to show you guys that too, so I can give you all that option as well. Do not ask me to set this up for you. I will not set it up for you. I can give you the ability to do it, and I will make a video on how to do it sometime later next week. So let me show you this real quick. So normally when we do an RSS feed, the way I'm showing you on the wheel stack, this is the way it appears right here. And you see down here, if you will, these are all your GMB posts, but it doesn't look very, if you will, presentable. But when you click on them, they will open up to the actual GMB post. Now with the new method that I have, I can give you two options, okay? It will look like this. It will have the GMB post, but it's not so pretty and it chops it off, okay? But it will open up the GMB post. The other option, which I give you with the app RSS feed, but you still have to have the new little hack I have, which I'll make a video on, is now it actually looks like with the image, with the business site link with the actual text. It's pulling in this text or the snippet from the actual GMB post. And if you click on it, it opens it up into the actual GMB post. So I'm doing that. If you need to know, and I'll show you in a video because it's much easier to actually show you in a video, is there is a file I have in a zip folder. Give me 1 second. So there's a file that I have. There's a file I have that basically you upload it onto your server, you unzip it, and once you unzip it, you can now create RSS feeds from anything, anywhere you want. And you just have to do second step, which is putting it in an RSS app and choosing the panel that I would show you, and it pulls in the actual image and everything. That's the only way I found to be able to do this. And this was given to me by somebody else as well. So let's see. Landing from SEO rock stars. How was it, Susie? Did you like it? Maybe next year I'll be able to go when this whole COVID damn thing's over with and I could fly. I just don't want to fly and take any chances. So any other questions, get them coming in, because as long as y'all ask questions, I'll be here. Y'all stop asking questions, I leave. We're going to be doing some new lives as well. So me and Chris Palmer every Wednesday morning. And then we're also doing GMB Cash Kings, where we're going to talk about how to make money, run an agency, scale an agency, etc. That'll be once a week as well with me, Kevin, George, and Jason. Usually the 4 of us, or at least 3 of us, sometimes 2. So yes, question, William, do you deploy your G sites and put them in console and analytics? No, I don't put them in those. Don't need to. That's not why I'm using them per se. I mean, you can private. Okay, do I put them live? My G sites? Yes. All G sites are live and they're all public. Every advanced Google stack we do is public. Most, if you will, drive stacks that you get, unless you get them from someone like, honestly, Chris Palmer or myself or someone that knows what they're doing, they're not going to be public. Even though whenever you look at the links, it says share with anybody or anybody on the internet can see it, that does not make them public. The old school way of used to doing an RYS or a drive stack was to make them public. When they're public, they're very effective. When they're not public, they're not effective. You're honestly wasting your money if they're not public. Thank you, Jeff. Yes, I'm feeling a lot better. I've been taking my meds and drinking soup. Ben Zen Master, you're seeing good results from YouTube Shorts. I don't really do too many of them. I actually probably going to start doing them more, mainly just to do quick Q&As or answers. That's about it. YouTube in general, yes. Off my little channel, I have it monetized and I make at least $2,000 a month right around there. You know, we just started monetizing it and, you know, pushing it really hard since July. So when you say setting their RSS up to the server, are you saying yes on your file system, on your host, your own host, doing it yourself? It's not something I will set up, not something you can pay me to set up. I will show everyone in a video how to do it and I'll upload it in the back end. It is not something I'm going to be giving out to just everybody. Lionel, does the location pages when added slow down the website at all where it affects? No. If anything, they're indexed and they're ranking. I've had people, you know, contact me immediately because they can't believe it. Ask Graham. Graham will tell you the same thing. I think Graham made a post the other day about that. Susan, I'm not a techie. I don't really understand proxies and how and when to use them. I don't use proxies. For instance, like a VPS and a VPN, I use VPN to check results, but I don't use, if you will, proxies a whole lot. There are proxies you can buy, and generally someone like me or even Holly or Chris are not going to tell you where to get them from, mainly because of the sheer fact when they're overused, they become worthless. Will you send us all an email with 2 extra? What are you talking about? Send us all an email with 2 extra sessions. Don't know what you're talking about, Jeff, on that one. You're going to have to be a techie if you're going to do the RSS part of it the way we do it. It's not very hard. It's just you're going to have to at least follow instructions and know something about hosting. So if you know something about hosting, you can do it. It's literally, I have a zipped up folder. You take that zipped up folder, upload it on your host, on your public drive, unzip it there. And then literally there's one line of code I give you and you can create an RSS feed from anything. It's easy peasy. Questions, keep them coming. The Cash Kings, you and Chris send us an, yeah. It's going to be on a weekly basis. So there's a post that will be posted across all networks, Facebook groups, etc., not an email. So the RSS will import and replace. No, it won't import and replace anything. You have to remove what you already have if you want to use the new one. If you want to use the new one, you have to delete what you currently have and do the new way. Carl. But yeah, I like it mainly because it's pretty. I mean, it pulls in the images and it has a snippet. And then it has a backlink over to the website because the images, if you will, hot linked over, which is cool. But I give you both ways, you know, so you can do either way you want. You're welcome, Susie. Patrick, do you first get citations before you go live? Nope. Citations aren't as powerful as most people want to make them seem. Just depends on how you're doing it. I may or may not need them. I would tell you paid citations are a must. These free cheesy ass citations, I would do them as we, you know, as each month goes on. It's not necessarily something I would necessarily do. Yep, correct, Carl. The one we currently have, it serves its purpose, but it's not pretty. And if you want pretty, then that's what I've been trying to find, and I finally found pretty. So that's what we're doing right now on, and I'll be posting that so other people can see it. We'll do it as a video. I'll do a video walkthrough so you can see it. And then once you see it, if you want to implement it, I'll have the file in there as well. That way you can download the file and do the implementation yourself. That's not something that I will be doing for anybody. Paid citations. Well, not necessarily before the site goes live. The way my process is, the way I've repetitively said it, is before you try getting a GMB to do citations or paid citations. You want a website before you try to get a GMB. You want citations before you try getting a GMB. You want some backlinks before you try getting a GMB. If you're going to go around doing it the ethically white hat way, I'll put it that way. If you have a means of getting them any other way, black hat or instantaneous, then I don't think you have to do citations at all. I have one method that we do bulk verification on. Next VA class will probably be, today's what? Friday my time, but Jeff, you live in Manila, so it'd probably be Saturday, tomorrow, as long as I'm feeling good. So if you're gonna go get a GMB and you don't have instant verification or any way to get it from a provider, let me put it that way, or you don't know any black hat methods to do them, then what I would tell you to do is get paid citations, but first get a website, then get paid citations, put some social signals out, get reviews off of places like Yelp, Angie's List, Better Business Bureau, etc. And then after 2 weeks, go get yourself your GMB, and very likely, a lot of times you can get an instant verification. The reason behind trying to get citations and signals first, social signals, is because think of it this way: if you live in the United States and you went to a bank and you had no credit and you asked them, hey, lend me some money, they're not going to trust you. Therefore, they're not going to lend you the money. So what you have to do is develop trust first. Citations, a website, and social signals is a way of developing trust with Google. So they go, hey, this guy's legit, or this gal's legit, and they trust you. Therefore, they give you a GMB because you're a legit business. That's the reason and purpose behind it. I found out G don't like VPNs. It sends me updates but will not load images in the email. Ping block, they hate it. Interesting. I use a VPN when I'm searching rankings on YouTube or just rankings in general. Because a lot of times you'll find people will say they got a certain ranking on YouTube or they got a certain ranking in Google or any search engine in general. And then when you check it with a VPN, not just incognito, but incognito on a VPN, you'll find out that no, actually, they don't hold the rankings you're holding, because most of the time they're searching from their own browser simply in incognito, which still has a history. You still have the same IP address, you still have a bunch of stuff. So that will affect it. As far as using a service to do my GMB posts, no, I don't use a service. I went back to what I used to do, which is we do it manually, because like I've said before, I personally feel like you're leaving footprints when you're using a service to do your posts. And when you leave footprints, it's not going to be as effective. That being said, I know it also makes it easier if you can, but I don't need to because I have a lot of VAs. What are you doing for, what am I doing with or for it, Patrick? That website, I'm letting it sit and marinate and it's already ranking. It's already pulling about 50 keywords in, already ranking. There is no sandbox. Don't let people lie to you. As long as you got good content, good structure, and do what real SEO is, there's no sandbox. I'll put it that way. Keep the questions coming. Where can I find a course on building the sheets for site linking? I'm not very good with a Google spreadsheet. If you're not good with the Google spreadsheet, then you're going to have a really tough time building drive stacks. I'll put it that way, because everything's built on Google Assets. Chris Palmer and me as well, not me, but Chris Palmer's developing, he has a course on it, but he's updating the course. Once he gets that course updated, then, you know, he'll be going over that as well. For anybody that wants it, it will be a paid course with Chris on how to do them and everything. The key behind drive stacks is the public file folders. If it's not public, then, you know. How do you do there's secret 301 redirect stuff inside Jason's Black Hat course? I believe they went over that, or inside his other course. I do know how to do it, and I can do it, but I'm not going over it. Think of it this way, not every site, you have to have a string of code. I'll tell you this, you have a string of code, right? You embed that string of code on any website. And as long as that website, let's say a blog site or anybody's site really, if they don't have that type of 301 redirect blocked, when someone lands on that blog, it will automatically redirect them wherever I want them to go. It's a nice little black hat tactic. So instead of me doing, let's say, a blog on someone's roofing site, and it's a powerful, what we call a parasite site, and instead of it going just on their site, it will redirect them to my site. The next music clip, Jeff, I've already got it done. It's going to be dropping the next 2 to 3 days. So you'll like this one. Starts out and it basically says, sit back and take some notes. School's in session. Listen while William and Chris chop it up. Maybe you'll learn some, and then maybe you'll learn something. And then a bunch of other stuff. So it's really cool. It'll be dropping the next 2 to 3 days along with the next dance as well. And I'm gonna be using that one probably on when me and Chris are doing talks and stuff, making things fun for people. Let's see. Data aggregator sites. Carl, is that your question in regards to aggregate sites? Good to link up to your site. Are you talking about data aggregators? Yes. Data aggregators are paid and they're a must. Think of data aggregators when you're talking about the credit bureaus in the United States. You got 4 major credit bureaus, and that's who collects all the data. That's what a data aggregator is when it comes to businesses. What's your name, address, phone number? What's your description? What do you do? All that stuff. They're paid sometimes anywhere from, you know, 20, 30 bucks, sometimes a couple $100, but they're a must. No, that's Patrick. That's the redirect script. That's the only redirect script. You just have to know how to write script. You know, I know how to do the script. Holly asked me about it, and yeah, it's just a script. You just have to know how to do them. And it's not, and it's a very specific 301 redirect script. It's not just a redirect. Keep the questions coming. Don't be in here and be silent. Keep the questions coming while you got me. We'll be talking about something I have not had to do in the VA class. If we do it, we'll be talking about something I have not had to do. I actually had to fire one of my VAs. I've never had to do that. And I'll tell you how I did it and who I had do it and everything, and why we did it. You know, out of the entire year, I have not had to do that. You know, never done it to at least this batch. I may have missed it, but what are the paid citations? I have a whole citation list if you go to YouTube, and there's a video I do on business citations. Watch that one, comment on it, and then I'll give you the SOP. And I have a whole spreadsheet of paid citations versus non-paid and what their DA or domain name authority is. Welcome, Scott. I will not be doing an overview of WordPress Amplify. I will not be doing a course on WordPress Amplify. If you want any of that, you can go to Bradley, who's the creator of it, and ask him for it. I've already made documentation of it. That is underneath support. If you don't know where that's at, you go to rankfortress.com and go to support. And I have the documentation in there. It's called Site Search Domain Documentation. And if you go in there, it goes 1 through all the way down along with the video SOP. I mean, that's what you're going to get. You just go through there and it will literally walk you through the whole setup process. Welcome, Patrick. Is there any value in posting stories daily? It's kind of like a sitcom. Same thing with Instagram. I would post on it. I post on it. Stories, think of it this way. The thing with stories, though, if they're not on your friends list, anyone can see them unless they're blocked. Then they can't see them. Even if they're not a friend, they can still see your stories. You know. Yeah, site search domain plugin is a cool program. I agree. Will we be talking about schema? You mentioned you'll show us how to do it manually at some stage. I actually did that the other day on a live YouTube on how to install schema. So go to the YouTube channel, but I'll show you how to do it on the current site we're working on, the towing company in Australia, after we get all of our content, after we get the citations. Next week, we're going to be installing all the content. I got about 20,000 words of content I'm adding to that site. All right, Bambi, can you give any hints to your Black Friday offers you'll be dropping? One of which is going to be, I'll give you a hint, Graham already knows about it, but one of which is going to be, if you're not a GMB Pro, you're going to get GMB Pro with it. But if you already have it, you already have it. But what it's mainly going to be, for example, is website free, not necessarily free, but you know what I mean. A website, 20,000 words of content, plus this is just going to be one of the ones I'm doing, mind you. So this is just one of them. 20,000 words of content, free website, plus the site search plugin installed, the advanced schema done for you, the location page plugin done for you, plus 1 month of SEO. And we're going to start it out at a certain price. That's about $5,000 worth of value. And it's probably going to start out at about $1,000. The content alone is worth, if you paid me for 20,000 words of content, that's $1,000 right there. Not counting the website, not counting the SEO, not counting the plugins or anything. The next one will be the same thing, except it's going to come with 3 months of SEO. And then, of course, I'll be dropping my plugins and all that stuff as well. So Black Friday is going to be a huge, 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 huge deal. All of mine are going to be anywhere valued from $5,000 to $10,000. I'm still doing live SEO audits. I actually been, if you've been watching, I've been broadcasting live SEO audits once a day, every day this entire week, Jeff. Yep, on YouTube. Yeah, Graham, it's an easy $5,000. Black Friday's a big USA thing. It's a $10,000 site, in my opinion, is what Graham says. Yep. If you calculated it, really, calculated it. For example, even with that one sod guy, I didn't charge him anything, and you know he's banking $50K a month right now, minimum. So that's what he got. And now he just sent me a second site, which I am charging for on that one. But website $350 is what I charge, $1,000 in content. Then you got your plugins, let's say lifetime access and all that jazz. It normally sells for about $6K if you were to put it all in. Then you're going to put in the SEO. I mean, you're looking at easy $7,000 value. So I'll put it like that. And I'll stack it out so everybody sees, but it will be on an ascending invoice. An ascending invoice is what we've been doing, which is where I say, here it is, I'm dropping it. And the bidding starts out at $1,000. The first person gets it at $1,000. The next person goes up by a certain amount. Let's say $100. The next person pays $1,100. The next person pays $12. The next person pays $13, $14, $15, $16, all the way up till people stop buying it. It's what we call an ascending invoice. So obviously, the quicker you jump on it, the better. But if you also know me, I usually drop probably 3 or 4 of those in a weekend. Whenever I'm doing a special, I'll drop at least 4 offers on a weekend. So, and Black Friday is coming up. Once that happens, I'm going to say y'all better be on it, because otherwise you'll lose it. And then also I will be doing stuff with Holly's News Network. I will be doing stuff with a Reddit network, an embed network, a YouTube network, all that shit. So advanced scheme like easy is $800 on its own. Yep. Nope, I didn't look at 40 grid. I don't trust most of the geo grids, Carl. I use 2 to 3 to get a general, average ranking is what I try to do. Let's see. Also, if you haven't seen it, if you want me to do an audit, the posts inside of Google My Business Group, if you ever see them, it's a yellow post and it says you have any questions, you drop your request for an SEO audit in there. Bambi, what are the top 3 paid tools you'd suggest we jump on Black Friday deal from third parties? Well, I haven't seen any Black Friday deals yet, so anything Chris comes out with, Course wise, I tell you, anything Chris comes out with, anything Holly comes out with, of course, anything I come out with. There's a couple others I would trust, but anything Craig comes out with is usually pretty good. Tool wise, I mean, I've developed the tools I have because we needed them. It wasn't even out of, hey, let me try to make a buck. It was because I need them in my own agency. Azagio would be one. Link Whisperer would be another. And then there's another one. As soon as he has it ready in the next week, I'll be dropping that on EDM. Exact domain name match finder. But those are the only. I don't use, if you've known me for a while, I don't use a lot of tools. If you're an agency, I would suggest LeadSnap. Most of the tools, matter of fact, that meme I made yesterday, I believe it was a poke at somebody, because I know some of these people, so I'm not going to mention any names, but when the local SEO guru on YouTube says, let me show you this new amazing tool, and it has what's his name, comedian Kevin Hart, go, hold up, I'm going to stop you right there. I'm going to need to see the list of actual clients you currently work with, and I want a list of actual phone numbers so I can call them and get references. Because I could guarantee you 100% most of them do not have actual clients they work with. They're going to repeat to you the same 3 or 4 that they've worked with and have had results in from years ago. I deal with tools where, like if Mike Merlino, Brent Bowser, Chris, Holly, Michael, another guy I trust, if you will, is Michael Pierce, NFG, people like that. If they're promoting it, I know it works because they use it. They use it on a daily basis. They're actually in the trenches using the actual tools they are promoting, not just to promote them and make affiliates, right? They're actually using them for clients. Most of the times you'll see a lot of these people online, and why I make memes and stuff to get people to jump out is because they're thinking, if you will, to get them to think about these people, because most of them they don't have the clients, they don't do services. They might have worked with clients many decades ago or whatever, but on a regular basis, no. And then if one of the famous things I love hearing a lot of these SEO gurus do, well, I can't share my results with you because of a non-disclosure agreement. Really? I'm sure you could show me a screenshot of someone's before and after. You don't got to give me their name, just what niche is it? And then even if you ask them what's the niche, they're, I can't tell you that either. Go the other way. Don't even bother with these people. Can LeadSnap replace local Viking? For the most part, yes. Let's see here. There are questions we got. We've got about 9 more minutes to get your questions in. Biggest thing I think I'd tell everybody in the SEO world is what you need to do is you literally, a lot of times people, I think what they do is it's in anything, even in business. It's not just SEO, but in business, one of the things I tell you, if you don't know who Tony Robbins is, or you don't know what some of these people are, is it's called modeling. You need to find someone that you can model or has done what you want to do, right? And you follow that person to a T. Everything they say, do it. because you can easily be successful when you found someone that is successful and is willing to hold you by the hand and teach you and copy them and do what they're doing, right? But what happens is, even in the business world, and the most part, even in the SEO world, is people go, well, let me take from this person, this person, this person, this person, this person, this person. And then when it doesn't work, they're go, SEO doesn't work. No, you're trying to mix everybody in this situation. And of course, it's not going to work. I generally will follow about 3 people, and that's about it. 3 or 4, and I don't listen to nobody else. You know. Any more questions? If you want me, I could be sarcastic, Patrick, about it, but what does Local Viking do that LeadSnap doesn't do? Well, LeadSnap actually helped me set up my API and actually get thousands of GMBs on it, versus Local Viking basically told me, hey, fuck you, and didn't want to help me at all. So I will tell you, that's what LeadSnap does for me that Local Viking didn't do. So I have nothing good to say about Local Viking. If I was to tell you anything, I'd say run the fuck away from them. So. Let's see. Yeah, I had a horrible experience with them too, Dan. I was a sponsored by them. Okay. They was an affiliate and a sponsor. And then I used to never use them. I told everybody I'd never use them, never use them, never use them. And then I started looking at the aspects of it, and I was like, well, maybe they're good. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. I should have listened to my gut. I gave them the benefit of the doubt. Within 2 months, API goes down, and then you get GMB suspended because they're looked at as a rank and rent platform. Not that I'm against rank and rent. I'm all for rank and rent, by the way. So I'm all for that sort of thing. But when it went down, and then they say, oh, well, we're coming out with this new thing and y'all are going to love it, and we're going to white label it so it's on your own. And then they say, well, fill out this, if you will, fill out this form and we'll get you help set up. And you fill out the form, and 1 week goes by, 2 weeks go by, 3 weeks go by, 6 weeks go by, 12 weeks go by, and nothing. And they basically say, sorry, we can't do anything about it. Yeah. So I won't mess with them. Same thing with SiteGround. SiteGround's a good hosting company, but I won't touch them, mainly because I've had a bad experience with them. You know, I've had people that have personally come to me about Local Viking and said they were with Local Viking, had hundreds of GMBs on them, and then they got suspended. All of them, like, boom, gone. And the only common denominator was they were all connected to Local Viking. How does Local Falcon compare to LeadSnap? Pretty much the same. I use Local Falcon and LeadSnap on my audits, just depends. And I also use the other paid tool I use a lot, especially for white labeling for agencies, is SEO Power Suite. SEO Power Suite has an auditor, automatic auditor, ranker, link builder, and SEO Spyglass, where I can spy on the competition. Yeah, I use Hawk Host. Hawk is the bird, host. I don't use anybody but Hawk Host. My experience with SiteGround was basically I was paying them, let's say, $5,000 a year. Had hundreds of sites on them. One of them got hacked. All of them got infected. And then SiteGround said, oh, fuck you. We're not helping you. And on top of not helping me, didn't even send me a warning. And then when I confronted them about it, they wanted to say, oh, well, it's because you're getting unusual traffic. And I had to explain to them, well, that's because this code right here is not from my website. It got hacked. Well, it's going to cost you $300, sir, per site to get each one of them fixed. Hundreds of sites. That's when I had to go to my VA, had my VA do it. And they'll shaft you on the renewal. That is correct. No, I don't use Local Surfer. What were the other companies you just mentioned? Hawk Host. If you want the link, just, put in a support ticket and I'll get it over to you. All right, go and get off here, guys. You want to upload this by end of week, all these lessons. If you're not up there right now, it's because they're going to be uploaded by end of week, okay? So I appreciate it. If you have anything else, we'll get this uploaded. Tomorrow is Friday, so it will be Kevin. If you're not in here, you're an idiot, quite honestly. Kevin can teach you how to scale your business. The students that I have that have scaled their business and scale your agency. When I say scale, I mean they went from barely making $3,000 or $4,000 a month to banking over 10K, 15K a month with just adding a couple of clients. All have been through what me and Kevin are teaching in that class. So to me, if you're not there, I mean, either you don't like money or you're just dumb as a rock, one of the two. So, but I do love you guys. So who is on tomorrow? Sorry, did not listen. Typical. Just like a woman. I'm sorry. Please cut out 40, Jid. Please check out 40 grid. Yep. Okay. And a blonde. Yeah, you're fun, Susie. I did an audit for Susie before. She's a handful. Thanks, William. Glad you're getting better. Appreciate it, Patrick. And I have been soaking my foot. It's not really helping, but I'm in Pagadena, so I don't want to go to the doctor. I'm going to go to the doctor when I'm in like Cagayan or Manila. So, Father Xmas is on tomorrow. Have an awesome weekend. Kevin is the man. I will see you guys tomorrow, and I appreciate it. Have a great day.